People keep requesting original IPs, as they're called nowadays in cinemas. We have a perfect example here, The Fall Guy. Hi, my name's Drew and welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. Now, I wasn't familiar with this. I only learned after I had seen the film that it's actually based on a TV show from the 70s or 80s. Or at least loosely based on it. We've got some cameos at the end of this film. Spoilers, I know, but still, you know, cameos are a typical thing nowadays. You know, you had the original actors appearing, I'm like, who's that, right? So afterwards, I found out this is based on a TV show, like I said, from decades ago about a stunt guy. But we'll get into the plot, but just to let you know that beforehand. But yes, what I mentioned in the intro is a point that's very important to me, because this year I've decided I'm going to go to the cinemas more. I didn't go that often last year. I still don't have a lot of time to do that, also because in many cases I end up going on my own. But I decided I need to do it, not only because I just love the cinematic experience, but you can tell that films are not doing well nowadays. It's not as popular as it was to go to the cinemas. And obviously I'm not saying, oh, boo-hoo, you know, please pray and have sympathy for the film studios. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying please pray for the art of filmmaking, because, you know, if this trend continues, we might actually be in a situation where not many films get released in cinemas, and that would be a shame. You know, you have to experience small films, big films, anything in cinemas, and anything that endangers that is something that's very important to me. So this year I've decided I'm going to be going to the cinema more often, and for some reason now in May there's quite a lot going on, or end of April. So went to see The Fall Guy. The next video that's coming up, slight spoiler there, is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and then end of May we've got Furiosa. So just 3 films in May alone. Very exciting times. Anyway, I'd say let's jump into this though. I don't want to talk about the general stuff too much. So yes, we need original films. People have been crying about superhero films. I mean, I love them, but I get that people are like, okay, we're done with that. Let's get something new, or let's have something that's not a sequel or a reboot, a remake, or, you know, like a superhero film, all these things. And The Fall Guy is just that. What is it about? The main roles in the film, one of them is Ryan Gosling. He is the Fall Guy, a stunt guy. He's very good at what he does. He is basically the personal stunt guy of the world's best, most famous actor. He's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. And yeah, they work on films quite a lot. He has an accident in one big scene where he jumps off a building, or not a building, sorry, he jumps off an elevator or something like that. Yeah, he has an accident, you know, causes him a lot of therapy and all sorts of other things. He gets back on his feet. He's actually stopped with that, you know, he's just got a small valet job that he does. And there's something that happens that pulls him back into this world. He's told that he can work with his favorite person. She used to be, I think the DP, the camera director, I think it was. Not quite sure. I've forgotten that part. Anyway, she used to work in the same films as he does. She was there for the camera, and she's now a director. It's her first feature film, and he's told, you know, she's asked for him to come back to do the stunts for this film, for the most famous actor, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. This lady, she's played by Emily Blunt, so she's this director. He goes there, he's like, oh great, because they had a thing going, you know, they were quite infatuated with each other, and that drifted apart after his accident, and so he's thinking, okay, this might be a chance to get back with her. So that's not the case. She actually didn't want him there. There was someone else that got him to be there, but that's the whole thing you can discover for yourself. And the main problem that arises is that Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, the world famous actor, he disappears and no one can find him, but obviously they need him for this shoot because it's very expensive, and every day that the actor is not there costs you money. And so Ryan Gosling's character is asked to go and find him, because as he's known him for years and he's basically him as a stunt guy, he would be most equipped, best equipped to go and find him. Sounds like a simple thing, but that is where this film really takes off, because not everything is as it seems, and this simple mission of finding the actor and bringing him to set turns out to be far more difficult than it appears to be. I won't tell you any more because that would be heading into spoiler territory. It's got quite a few twists and turns, which I quite enjoyed. This film definitely goes in a lot more different directions than I expected it to. But generally speaking, yeah, it's if you're having difficulty sort of, finding out what the genre of this film is, I would say it's basically an action comedy. It's got a big focus on stunts. Of course, it's a great showpiece for stunts, which is something that in Hollywood people have been seeing with louder and louder voices over the past few years is something that deserves its own category at the Oscars, for instance, or because there's a lot of work that goes into stunt work. It's obviously very risky and dangerous, and without them a lot of action films wouldn't feel nearly as cool as they actually are, because you can't do everything in CGI, and just doing a practical stunt will always be better if it's pulled off correctly. So that's the one part of it. You've got all the stunt stuff, and then you've got this sort of romantic comedy somewhere in the middle, right? But there's a lot of other stuff going on. It's a lot of fun. I would say that it's a very fun film. I actually expected it to be funnier. What I mean by that is it is funny, it's got a lot of funny bits in it. I expected more, let's call it sort of jokes and funny scenes in it. That's not quite the case. While obviously there are funny scenes, it's more just focused on the whole fun of it, the action stuff and the character interactions, because they've got great chemistry. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, they've got really good chemistry. And I really enjoyed Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character as well. He's this over-the-top actor with a massive ego, and I thought that must have been a lot of fun to play that as well. You've got Winston Duke. He's sort of like, is he the manager of Ryan Gosling's character, something like that. Always enjoy him in films as well. They all work so well together, and the whole thing is just a lot of fun. You get to see amazing stunts. It would take too long to list them all off here. One of the coolest I thought was where they've got a sort of garbage container, and it's been turned on its side and it's been dragged along the street, and in it they're having a fight, and it just looked really, really cool. So yeah, and they do one thing that I haven't seen in a long time. That used to be a thing that you would see for Jackie Chan films, where in the end credits they show you a lot of the things that they filmed, a lot of the things that they did. You see how some of the stunts were performed. Really incredible. So a behind the scenes feature of this film would definitely be very interesting. I would expect it'll be on the home release, which I'll definitely be looking into. I'll know that for sure. Yeah, so that's obviously main focus. It's a lot of fun. You've got that sort of slight romantic comedy going on as well, which, like I say, is very enjoyable because of the great chemistry. And if you're a fan of the band Kiss, you will have to watch this film. You'll be madly in love with it. Because the song "I Was Made for Loving You" is basically the soundtrack of the film. It's chopped up in pieces, and you've got a cover version as well, but they're being used over and over at bits, etc. And I get it, because obviously it is quite an infectious beat that drives the song, and it just really feels great for this film. It just completely fits the vibe that's going on, because you have got it has got this sort of 80s sort of, I don't know, even sort of Miami Vice vibe going on. You've got speedboats and fast cars and all these kind of things, and that song, they use it so well. It's a really good example, I feel, of a song that's used throughout a film just to really enhance the whole thing. But like I say, if you are a Kiss fan, you'll definitely love it. If you hate Kiss, then this might really change and badly influence your experience of the film. I'm partial to the song. I get why it's infectious, etc. So yeah, to me it added to the fun, because you're sitting there going, yeah, come on, get going, keep going, It really just drives the whole film. It's done really well. So as you can tell, I had a lot of fun with this film. I'm a bit afraid that it was too expensive, because it cost $130 million, I read, which is massive, because you get it when when you see that number and you think about the stunts. You're like, okay, I get it. But when I came out, I expected or hoped it would have been a budget of like $70 or $80 million, because it's been out a few weeks now and the box office is not doing well. So my fear is that this will be another sign to the film studios that, oh no, don't make these films, because no one's going to go and watch them. And that's why I say, please, if you can, if it sounds appealing to you, watch these kind of films, because it's an original idea, you know. I mean, original, okay, it's based on a thing, but you know what I mean. Hardly anyone, I think, has heard of the original TV show or seen it. It's something new, it's fun, you know, it's big, it's actiony, it's a typical summer blockbuster, it really is, and it should get more support than it is having right now. Anyway, it's a very positive review from me. If you can, go and see it in cinemas. That'll be all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about the film, if you've seen it, any other films you would recommend. I mean, Ryan Gosling, he's becoming a new favourite of mine ever since Barbie, but I've seen other things with him as well, of course. Anything you want to say, put it down in the comments below. I'll thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care, bye.